Trinidad and Tobago gets a new national security minister overnight. And in sport, another series loss for the West Indies. I'm Nicole Best, and this is the Caribbean in 10 for Monday, August 6th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Join leading media and communications executives as well as climate change experts in Kingston, Jamaica from August 13 to 15 for the Caribbean Broadcasting Union 49th Annual General Assembly. This year's assembly, held in partnership with the CARICOM Climate Change Center, explores the theme, Building Resilience to Climate Change, Business, Technology and Content Options for Caribbean Media. Featured presenters include the Honorable Dr. Rural Reid, Jamaica's Minister responsible for information, the region's Chief Climate Change Negotiator, Mr. Carlos Fuller, the Caribbean Telecommunications Union, the Broadcasting Commission of Jamaica, and the International Telecommunications Union Caribbean Office. And broadcast manufacturers and media services enjoy special exhibition rates at this year's conference, joining premier exhibitor Eutelsat. For more information on discounted rates for delegates staying at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel or flying on the official airline Caribbean Airlines, go to the CBU website or call the Secretariat. The CBU looks forward to welcoming you to this key conference on climate change and the Caribbean media.
A cabinet reshuffle announced in Trinidad and Tobago at midnight has seen Edmund Dillon stripped of the national security portfolio. Communications Minister Stuart Young now has that responsibility. And this is the third cabinet reshuffle by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley this year. We get more in this report from Peter Christopher of C News.
On Sunday night, Edmund Dillon ceased to be Minister of National Security, and by Monday morning, most of Trinidad and Tobago woke up to the news that Stuart Young, already a holder of a plethora of portfolios, would be the new man in the job. The announcement came after midnight in a release from the Office of the Prime Minister, which also confirmed Dillon's shift to the Minister of Housing, while the Prime Minister relieved himself of Housing Ministry duties. In the latest reshuffle, the third such adjustment of ministerial roles for 2018, Minister Young was relieved of his duties as Minister in the Ministry of the Attorney General and Legal Affairs, but will retain his portfolio as Minister of Communications and Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister. The OPM statement also shed light on the role of Maxie Cuffey, who returned from the United States 2 weeks ago after spending time there receiving medical treatment. His duties have been reduced as his appointment as Minister in the Ministry of Public Administration was adjusted to that of Parliamentary Secretary in that ministry. The release also confirmed that Marlene MacDonald resumed her duties as Minister of Public Administration last Thursday. The change of portfolio for Dillon is just another part of what has been a challenging year for the Point Fortin MP.
Former National Security Minister Gary Griffith is now officially the Commissioner of Police in Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. In a release today, the Police Service Commission confirmed that Griffith officially received his instruments of appointment last Friday. This statement said that as Commissioner of Police, Griffith will be responsible for directing all strategic activities of the police service to promote and achieve higher levels of safety and security for the nation. Griffith was appointed commissioner after a parliamentary vote last Monday. He replaces Stephen Williams, who had been acting as top cop following the departure of Canadian Dwayne Gibbs in 2012. Haiti's President Jovenel Moïse has named Jean-Henri Chant as the country's new prime minister. Chant replaces Jacques Guy Lafontaine, who resigned following protest action that was triggered by the government's announcement of an increase in petroleum products. The measure was later withdrawn. Moïse says his decision to pick Chant follows consultations with the presidents of the two branches of parliament. Chant had unsuccessfully contested the 2010 and 2016 presidential elections under the banner of the political group Renmen IIT. Authorities in Guyana are investigating the attempted escape of 2 prisoners from the Lusignan prison over the weekend. The names of the men were not disclosed, but reports out of Guyana say they are scheduled to face trial for murder. The escape was foiled by prison officials making their rounds at the prison. We get more in this report from Royston Drakes of Capital News.
The 2 inmates who were planning to escape are slated for a High Court trial on murder charges. A release from the director of prison, Gladwin Stanwell, stated that officers on duty at the Lusignan prison between August 2, 2018 and 8:30 a.m. on August 3, 2018 were able to disrupt an escape plot by 2 prisoners that are committed to stand trial in the High Court. It was during security checks when the discovery was made. A steel bar was found cut while attempts were made to cut another. The director said from observations, the cutting of the second bar was to allow for an easier exit. He said due to the nature of the housing unit and the standing operating procedures, those prisoners should not have been in possession of cutting equipment and more so been allowed to actually cut. The director of prison said as a result, the police have been calling to conduct a full investigation. He noted that the prisoners' security classification has increased and additional layers of security are in place.
Stay with us. Your Midday Sport is next. West Indies lost their T20 International Series against Bangladesh last night, plunging to their 3rd straight series defeat in their 7th loss in 9 outings. The Caribbean men went down by 19 runs under the Duckworth-Lewis method in the 3rd match against Bangladesh at the Central Broward Regional Park Stadium in Florida after losing by 12 runs in the 2nd game at the same venue the night before and winning the 1st game in St. Kitts last week. Chasing a difficult 185 in the series decider, West Indies were heading towards defeat at 135 for 7 in the 18th over when rain ended the match prematurely. At that point, they were well adrift of the pass score of 155 handed Bangladesh a series win and a sweep of the Florida doubleheaders. Captain Carlos Brathwaite said the bowlers did a good job but suggested Bangladesh appeared to have been well prepared for the Caribbean side.
Had different plans this game. They countered our spin attack up front and they got off to a flyer. After getting to 60 enough, probably 70 odd in the first 6, and on what I thought was a good wicket, staring down the barrel of 210, 220, for us to pull it back to 185, I think it was a very good job. So bowling-wise, outside of the power play, I thought we were excellent. With the bat, I thought we could have been a lot better. Once again, I think we got stuck with the spin, and I think we didn't utilize the fact that they were a bowler short as well as we could have. If we look at it, if this game had gone to 20 overs, maybe we'd have a part-timer ball in the last one. So I don't think it was the smartest batting innings as a team.
And that's the Caribbean in 10. Join us at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Have yourselves a good afternoon.